Hello, welcome to today's Monkey Mind moving meditation. I'm Angie, and I do these moving meditations as a way or another way for us to be able to receive and to tap into the benefits of meditation, but when our bodies just don't want to sit, or maybe we just don't want to explore what it's like to be seated, we want to be moving. And so these moving meditations are a way that our bodies can be active while trying to quiet our minds. And the monkey mind is a term for our brain, or for part of our brain, that is like a monkey. It's always wreaking havoc, it's throwing things, it's always yelling, it wants lots of attention. And so thinking of it as a monkey, I actually just picture a little monkey standing right next to me. So thinking about it as a monkey mind and needing to give it something to do can also help to quiet the mind down in order to help us to tap into that mindfulness and that meditation. So let's get started. And before we go too much further, just make sure that your body is safe for movement. Anything that I say today is just a suggestion. Go with what feels best in your body, even if it's something totally different than what I'm cueing. And along those lines, just make sure that your body is safe for exercise. Make sure that you've reached out to your healthcare provider or movement coach, especially if you have any pain as we go through and do this. We're going to do some kind of fine motor movement today. So if you have any pain or concerns, definitely ease back, try something different, and just make sure that you reach out if you have any questions. So let's go. Today's meditation can be done standing, can be done seated, can be done lying down on the floor, quite frankly, if you want. So if you're standing, bring your feet to a comfortable distance apart and maybe explore what comfortable distance means to you today. Maybe you want a wider stance. You've been sitting for a while if that feels good, or maybe you want your feet closer together. If you're seated, maybe explore, does sitting forward a little bit more feel better? Or do you want a little more support in your back, sitting back against the back of the chair? So just kind of exploring what feels best. And then pressing your feet down into the ground, whatever variation you're doing. And if you're laying down, just feel free to lay however is comfortable. Just start to rock side to side. Just start to make some gentle movement, starting to warm the body up. And as you do that, maybe check in, looking around your space, whatever environment you're in, noticing what's in there with you. Maybe notice if things are different today. My dog is in here today. She's not always in with me. She's just outside of camera range. And then if it's comfortable, maybe start to look inside. Notice internally what you're feeling. And if that's not comfortable, totally fine. Stay with looking around and exploring what's in your environment. And then if you want, maybe start rolling your shoulders out, maybe bending your knees, getting a little bob, and then just checking in. Notice just even what this little bit of movement is doing. For me, I start to notice that I settle down. So notice, explore in your body what you're feeling. So today's meditation is based off a quote that I recently read. And it was a really interesting quote, and I've been thinking a lot about it. And so I've designed a meditation around it today. And the quote is by a person named Simon Van Booy. And Simon Van Booy says, hands have their own language. And I've been thinking a lot about that. And hands have their own language. Hands have their own way of trying to communicate with us. But are we actually really even receiving the messages that our hands are telling us? So I thought we'd start to work to exploring into sensations in our hands. So if it feels interesting, maybe start rolling your fingers out, rolling your wrists, and just start moving. Maybe moving one finger at a time. Notice how as you move that finger, whatever you're moving, where do you feel it? And feel free to keep the gentle sway if that feels good. That is soothing to my nervous system. Or feel free to sit in stillness, maybe explore. But as you move your hands, notice how maybe moving your pinky fingers, where do you feel that sensation? The hands are very unique. A lot of our movements are controlled by muscles in the forearms, and they're just moved by ligaments and tendons. So exploring, do you actually feel that movement in your hands, or do you feel it in the forearms? Or do you feel it in both? Maybe moving your thumbs around. We humans are the only mammals and animals that have opposable thumbs. So what does it feel like to actually move your opposable thumbs? And then maybe checking in with some sensations. Our fingertips, we have a lot of nerve endings in our fingertips right here that give us information about sensations. Are we feeling something soft or rough, hard? So maybe check what it feels like on your fingernail versus the underside. And if you don't have a fingernail or you don't have fingers, move your arms around wherever you feel like you can, or wherever you have sensations. And just explore, what does it feel like? What's this language? What are the hands trying to communicate? And maybe you don't know, but as you do that, notice, maybe do you feel some tension starting to build up? That's a lot of muscle work in muscles that we don't normally work this way. And then maybe try flattening your palms and then rounding them out. Maybe explore, does one hand feel different? Do you have some tightness in one? And if you have issues like with carpal tunnel or other issues like that, definitely only go within whatever range feels comfortable to you. And then try the making circles. So adding in, noticing how much work the forearms actually get involved with when you make circles with the hands. And then maybe you want to try flipping. So just going back to forward or folding in and bending out. And maybe notice where in your forearm you feel it, if you're feeling it in your forearm. Is it down more by the wrist or is it up more by the elbow? Maybe explore seeing if you can do different fingers on each hand. I cannot do that while I'm talking, so I end up doing the same fingers. So maybe explore that, or if you want, maybe try one hand at a time. What is your one hand trying to communicate to you? And maybe explore the other one. And then if it feels interesting or curious, maybe start looking at your hands, seeing what language they're trying to communicate through visually to us. If that feels uncomfortable, definitely feel free to skip it. Maybe bring some awareness. Are you getting tired? My hands are getting tired. This is a lot of work. Or this can be a lot of work. Maybe this feels great to you. We spend so much time nowadays on our phones or at our computers or holding in the car, our hands just kind of get lost in the shuffle. So exploring, what are your hands trying to tell you? Are they holding some tension? Maybe as you're doing this, you feel this somewhere else in your body. I'm feeling it up a little bit in my left shoulder. I have some tightness there. And notice if there are certain movements that don't feel good and certain movements that feel better. Maybe explore if your hands are trying to tell you something through sound. So do you hear any joints cracking or creaking? So exploring this play, trying to learn the language of our hands for just about a minute longer. Checking in, noticing. Maybe it's the language your hands are trying to communicate that they're tired. They don't want to do as big of movements. Maybe they want a massage, so notice. Does one hand want to rub the other? And as you do that, maybe notice what language the hand that's touching, the fingertips, what language is that communicating? That doesn't feel good. Definitely go back to whatever movements feel good. And then taking about 5 more counts to explore whatever movements are interesting in your body. So 5 last counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And then arms coming out wide, hands coming out, and then bring your arms down to the side. Shake it out. Shake out your arms, shake out your hands. If you want, shake out your legs. Maybe check in now. Bring your awareness once again away from the hands and notice, how does your body feel now that you've had all that attention in your hands? I'm definitely aware of some tightness in my shoulders as well. And then shaking it out, let it go. If you're standing, once again, bring your feet to a comfortable distance apart. And if you're seated, keep your sitting bones pressing down, really kind of rooting down into that chair or whatever surface you're sitting on. And then bringing the right hand in, flexing at the wrist, right elbow out, coming into half prayer. Left hand, all 4 fingers and thumb together. And then as dramatically as you want, give yourself a high 5, hands coming into prayer. Thank your amazing body for the wonderful work that it does for you on a daily basis. If it's comfortable, bringing the base of your thumbs up to that point between your 2 eyes to your 3rd eye, and thank your amazing mind for letting you explore, trying to learn the language of your hands, or whatever felt comfortable to you today. And then one more time, if it's comfortable, hands coming back to heart center, bowing down. The light and dark in me sees and honors the light and dark in all of you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Beautiful job, beautiful job. Let me know what you thought about that. Let me know how that felt. Definitely drop me a line in the comments. And then if you like these videos, please like and share. And then follow me on social media, on Facebook and YouTube. My accounts are AB Yoga Info. And then on Instagram, it's AB_yoga_info. And definitely let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.